So, let me get this straight. I just want to clear things up. So you mean to tell me that there's a magical flower that came from the sun that can grant eternal youth?
Yes.
It's real.
Yep.
And you found it.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of sharing this to the townsfolk and have your kingdom prosper for generations, you instead used all of it on the queen.
Correct.
And you want me to announce this to the public?
That's the plan.
Alone.
Exactly.
Hear ye, gather round as I come forth bearing great news. Well, I for one am glad the queen's doing well. I don't care what anybody says. So how's the newborn princess? Oh, that's what I came down here for. She got kidnapped last night. Huh. And he has to announce that too? Yep. He'll be fine. Tangled is Disney's take on the classic fairy tale story Rapunzel, released back in over a decade ago. Oh my god, I'm old. Tangled garnered all around generally positive praises from both critics and audiences. With an overwhelmingly positive 89% in Rotten Tomatoes and amassing a gigantic fan base, generally positive seemed to be an understatement that doesn't serve the movie fair justice, especially the trailers. What the fuck? But there's no denying that even with the mess it had behind the scenes, trust me, it took quite a while to even decide on the title. Tangled is easily the best Disney princess movie ever. Yep, I'm still dying on this hill, guys. There's nothing you can do to convince me otherwise. To those who are new here, I've made it known in this channel that I personally think Tangled is indeed the best Disney princess movie. Now, to all those who disagree with me up to this point, I get that you wouldn't take me seriously with this take, and I understand. Yes, maybe for you, Frozen is the best Disney princess movie. Some might go and have the older classics holding that title. Cause yeah, the Disney princess movies is quite the juggernaut list to top. So please understand me when I say that your opinion is wrong and Tangled is the best. I know, it's hard to accept defeat, but we gotta learn to grow someday, guys. But seriously, you can give that title to any movie you want. I just personally think that Tangled not only crosses off all check marks, but also exceeds upon it. The movie does a great job balancing all aspects of what makes a simple movie great. The characters are super memorable and iconic, the visuals is stunning, the comedic timing is perfect, the animation is quick and smooth, and the story, though simple, is very engaging. So it's a shame that after over a decade, we never got a sequel. I don't care if you already cut the hair, Disney, it was never about the hair. Have them do a fetch quest or something, I don't fucking know. Y'all confirmed that they're in the same universe as Frozen, so why not have that storyline, huh? Disney, please, I need to see Riri again. But even I have to admit, the movie has its weaknesses. I have loads more to say about this movie and to why I think it's the best out of the lineup. So, why don't we just go ahead and jump straight in? Side note, I'm aware that there's a Disney Channel spin-off series about this, so if at any point of my bullshit said in this video was answered there, take note that I, for one, have not seen the show, so keep that in mind. And also, no, shit confirmed by the creators outside the movie doesn't count either, guys, okay? If it's not established in the movie, it's not established in the movie. Can we get that out of the way? Y'all know who you are. Anyways, let's take a look on why this is the best Disney princess movie. Not an opinion, it's a fact. Here is Tangled. So we first start off with a flashback where they establish that a drop of sunlight fell from the heavens above and sprouted into this magical flower that has the ability to heal the sick and injured. Years pass and we're shown that a kingdom nearby has a queen that's fallen ill, and in order to save her life, they need the power of the magic flower. This is Gothel, our main antagonist. We'll talk more about her later in the video, but for now, they show that for centuries, she's been using the flower all to herself, keeping her young all this time. But I mean, could you blame her? Mama!
You see, instead of sharing the sun's gift, this woman, Mother Gothel, hoarded its healing power and used it to keep herself young for hundreds of years.
Honestly, Gothel, same. Like, I don't want to be a dick about it, but if I discovered a plant that could heal any and all types of sickness, ain't no way am I gonna tell anyone about that. Finders keepers, man, people suck. Have you seen the news?
And all she had to do was sing a special song.
flower gleam and glow.
How she managed to find out that singing those specific lyrics would activate the magic, we'll never know. The guards managed to find the flower though and use it to cure the queen. Now, I've already pointed this one out in the intro, but I just want to bring it up one more time. I know it's a fairy tale story, yada yada, but kind of an asshole move to just use this once-in-a-lifetime miracle flower all on your wife, huh, buddy? Like, couldn't you at least try to conduct some research on it first? Did you not even try to see if you can plant more? If I were the townsfolk, I'd be pissed as shit. The flower heals the queen, and in the process, she gives birth to a blonde baby girl. Must have been an awkward day in the hospital. Honey, why is she blonde? The celebration is cut short though as everything goes awry as an aged Gothel sneaks into the kingdom one night and kidnaps the baby. Great security you got there, guys. You just let this old lady kidnap the newborn princess. Beheading. All of you. Now, jokes aside for a minute, let's talk about the first thing that makes Tangled really good. What stands out here is that Disney went ahead and went super creative in crafting the classic Rapunzel story into their own thing, all while keeping it simple. Unlike most of their princess tales, Tangled completely deviates from its original story, in which perfectly makes it 10 times better. Unlike other Disney princess stories that are either not interesting or set up to be too complicated, Tangled's plot is simple and straight to the point, all while being executed very well that makes the audience engaged the whole way through. The idea of having the hair play a crucial part into the narrative was without a doubt a brilliant addition. The hair being magical gives a solid reason and purpose on why it's so long to begin with. But not only that, it also helps give you and the characters an understanding on why Rapunzel is hidden up a tower. Gothel openly scaring Rapunzel about the outside world is one thing, but add in the risk that they'll hunt her down for her magic hair, an importance that she's very aware of. Looking into Rapunzel's perspective gives a good enough reason to stay up there. But let's also not gloss over on how the magic works. Yes, it's silly that a certain song or melody activates the magic, but come on guys, it's glowing hair that came from a flower spat out by the sun. I think we're way past believable at this point. Personally, the flower gleam and glow incantation is odd yet mystifying enough to warrant a magical presence. The movie also certainly does an excellent job setting all this up in a matter of minutes. The whole premise is so simple yet brilliantly thought out, making us the viewers invested from the very start. Speaking of which, back to the movie, fast forward years later and we're introduced to the main character, Rapunzel. Yeah, a bit of a confession here. I was around the age of 12 to 13 when I got to see this movie, and let me tell you that I just had the biggest crush on this princess back in the day. It's not even funny. And looking back at it now, yeah, 12-year-old me had good taste. Other than her bubbly personality and lovable demeanor, her character design is done very well. Freckles and all. She's also written quite nicely. She's quirky, funny, quick on her feet, and can handle herself pretty well. Sure, there are other princesses who are like that now, but have they ever used the frying pan as a weapon? I don't think so. Or I'm just really into blondes. I don't fucking know. I'm really into ᵐᵒⁿᵗ too, so you be the judge. We also get to meet her lovable animal sidekick, a chameleon named Pascal. Keep an eye out on this character, by the way. He does some fucked up shit later in the movie. Fucked up!
Gotcha!
What? How? I don't mind. Locked in the tower all this time, we're shown the dread and boredom Rapunzel has to bear every day, all while longing the opportunity to step out and live her life, all in the form of a song. And yeah, here we pretty much see the movie's glaring weakness. The songs aren't really that great. Now, I'm not saying that they're bad per se, I'm just saying that in the general library of Disney musicals, this one tends to be shoved at the back, and I don't blame them. The songs sometimes feel disjointed and intrusive at times. Like, there's this one scene later in the movie between Gothel and Rapunzel where you'd find yourself completely hooked in by the moment. But all of a sudden, Gothel breaks into this quick 15-second reprise, and it just felt so out of place it ruins the moment. I would say the movie would have been better off if it wasn't a musical, but even that's wrong because the movie still has really fun and memorable numbers, which we'll get to in a bit. You guys gave me shit on saying saying Mirabel's Waiting on a Miracle wasn't as memorable as other Disney princess solos? Well, haters, eat your heart out, cause Rapunzel's When Will My Life Begin is easily one of the weakest Disney princess solos out there. I don't know why, but the solo just felt safe and mild compared to the others. It's certainly a product of its time too, just by the instrumental alone. But it does do a good job establishing Rapunzel's wants though, but honestly, the song's not that great, nor is it that memorable. It's not bad, I just don't care for it that much. Great, now I have both Mirabel and Rapunzel hate coming my way now. Meanwhile, in the kingdom nearby, we meet our second main character, a thief named Flynn Rider. He's also accompanied by a pair of antagonists, a duo named, get this, the Stabbington Brothers. Someone got paid to write that, folks. Dream big.
Oh, hay fever?
Yeah.
Worst security ever. Jesus Christ, after losing an actual baby, you'd think security would have tightened up a bit, eh? The group steal a crown and plans on selling it for money. This satchel would end up being an important plot device, so keep that in mind. Cut back to the tower, and we're finally introduced to the main villain, Gothel. And now allow me to take this time to say that Gothel, for me, is probably one of the best Disney villains out there. How come you say? Well, Gothel is simply human. She doesn't have powers, nor is she a witch, or does she ever have the intention to rule the kingdom or more so the world. She's simply a selfish person who only wants to stay young and manipulates Rapunzel into doing whatever she tells her to do. Not only that, but her character design is great. The animators did a great job making her look and feel menacing yet completely normal at the same time. This gives a great realism to the character and how much of a manipulator Gothel can be, just being a villain in plain sight, which makes Rapunzel's situation much more relatable and personal. To us, her selfish ways comes around as being a villain, but to Rapunzel, she sees it as a mother protecting her daughter, and that's where the addition of the hair comes into play, because the hair gives a good enough reason to why Rapunzel should stay hidden. This is only solidified with Gothel's scare tactics. She's selfish, controlling, manipulative, and abusive. Gothel is simply the average human, and that's what makes her a great villain. With that said, Mother Knows Best is not really that good of a song. Yeah, after everything I just said, unfortunately Gothel's villain song isn't really all that great. A lot of people classify this song as underrated, but honestly, I think it's right where it belongs. In the trash. It's not catchy, the tune is weird and boring, and again, the song just felt safe and mild. Honestly, Gothel's manipulation is better presented through the actual conversations rather than songs, if you could believe it. I don't know, I guess when you're going up against songs like Hellfire or Be Prepared, you're bound to end up losing. Oh my god, am I gonna get hate from Gothel fans too?
Mother knows best.
How is that even possible? The lever went up! Later on, we see Rapunzel getting rejected to see the floating lights that only happened during her birthday. Now, for context, apparently each year, during the Lost Princess's birthday, the kingdom light up the night sky with lanterns. A pattern which Rapunzel has been noticing happened during her birthday as well. Which begs the question, Gothel, why the flying fuck would you tell Rapunzel her actual birthday? The narration in the beginning said that the king and queen did this shit since day one. Not once did it occur to you to maybe find a different birth date for the child you stole? Or the abundant number of floating lanterns each birthday not warrant even a slight bit of concern? Did you have a birth certificate or something? Your whole problem could have been avoided if you just changed the birth date. Well, anyways, we cut back to Flynn and the brothers being chased by the palace guards. Here we get to see Maximus, a palace horse. And let me tell you that he's hands down the best animal sidekick any Disney character has ever had. It's not even a debate. See that, Sven? Ya ain't got nothing on him! Hiding from the guards, Flynn stumbles across Rapunzel's tower and decides to climb it. And at last, our two heroes finally get to meet. In heaven. Jesus Christ, that's like 5 severe cases of brain damage there, Riri.
Something brought you here, Flynn Rider. Call it what you will. Fate, destiny.
A horse.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the best Disney couple of all time. Oh, come on, you gotta agree with me on this one. I don't think there's any other Disney couple out there that share the same amount of chemistry as these two. What makes the two work so well is that they're both not each other's contrast. Both Rapunzel and Flynn have loud personalities that scream adventure. They just have different goals to begin with. The development for their feelings for each other is also done really well. Granted, it all happens within a day. Hell, Frozen would actually go and make fun of this type of trope in their own movie, but the development honestly feels genuine and paced really well. Having their relationship evolve throughout throughout the course of the movie and seeing them gradually catch feelings for one another. The campfire scene being a prime example. The two genuinely feel like a couple all throughout the movie, and the writers did a great job setting all this up for us, the audience, to root for the two. The development and romance isn't as focused or as crucial as Beauty and the Beast or Princess and the Frog, but it's equally as investing. And in those two movies, their characters needed to be in love. Flynn and Rapunzel just happened to fall for each other. And no, sadly, Kristoff and Anna doesn't make the cut anymore, okay? After Frozen 2, all I can associate with that man is one big sack of potatoes. In exchange for the satchel, Rapunzel eventually convinces Flynn to take her to see the lanterns, and so, the adventure begins. 100% your hand should have been burnt off right now, but you know what? Hey! Soon after though, Gothel would find out Rapunzel left the tower with Flynn and tracks them down. She brings out a knife, and we're going to talk about Gothel's game plan later because I personally find it funny. But first, we cut to our heroes entering the Snuggly Duckling, a bar filled with ruffians and thugs. And here we get a pretty fun musical number.
I'm malicious, mean and scary. My sneer could curdle dairy.
I've Got a Dream incorporates a lot of funny lines and visuals that make it pretty memorable, especially scenes with Rider. Aside from the thugs having their own verse, we also have both Rapunzel and Flynn joining in. And I don't think I ever recall a Disney musical number in a bar where our princess and prince sing with a bunch of ruffians, so here we are. What makes it better is that this number actually has a purpose down the line. They actually end up befriending everyone in the bar, which in return would help them get away from the guards here and later. Unlike a certain group musical number from a Disney princess movie that's completely unnecessary and useless. So yeah, it's a pretty fun song and a pretty well-made number, and I like it a lot. Anyways, the song gets interrupted by palace guards as they crash the party to search for Rider.
Go, live your dream.
I will.
Your dream stinks. I was talking to her.
Okay, that's pretty funny. We finally get a big action scene involving our heroes, the palace guards, Maximus, and the Stabbington brothers. Worst security ever. After some really good action scenes, our heroes find themselves trapped inside a cave with water pouring in.
What?
My real name is Eugene Fitzherbert.
Okay, that's a pretty stupid name. Rapunzel activates her magic though, which leads to the two fighting a way out.
We made it.
Her hair glows.
Meanwhile, we cut to Gothel meeting and devising a plan with the Stabbington brothers. Okay, now let's talk about Gothel's game plan here, okay? Everybody gather around. Now, it's kind of funny how Gothel's plan pans out throughout the movie. Like, initially her plan was to simply find them, kill Eugene, and bring Rapunzel back to her tower. But that didn't go according to what she hoped for, so she ends up pulling a whole new, much more complicated plan out her ass with the Stabbington brothers. It's funny because this plan would involve a lot of things to work out in her favor. Like, 1. She openly gives up the satchel but uses it as bait to manipulate the brothers into taking Eugene out of the picture for her. But like, what if they said no though? What if after you told them that you had an offer that's worth 1,000 crowns, they just say nah and left? The fuck are you gonna do then? You just gave away your only bargaining chip to 2 criminals. Sure, this shows how confident Gothel is when it comes to manipulating people, but it's still a dumb, reckless plan. Second, she'd also have to have Rapunzel not show Eugene the satchel in the beginning when she hands it to her during the campfire scene. Third, she'd also need Eugene to notice the Stabbington brothers from afar when he's on a boat and hope that he had a change of heart within the last 24 hours to go to shore right that moment and hand over the crown to the brothers alone. Like, bruh, what if he decided to bring Rapunzel with him to meet up with the brothers? Can't fake the abandonment there now, can ya? Or hell, what if he chose to be sleazy and ignored them and proceeds to steal both Rapunzel and the crown? Fuck it, what if he didn't notice? What are you gonna do if he just sailed back to the kingdom and fucked off? See what I mean? Have at least one of these things not go as planned and Gothel's whole scheme just goes right out the window. This shit would have been avoided if you just lied about her birthday, ya cuck. Later on, Rapunzel finally gets to show Eugene her healing abilities and they set up camp for the night. Gothel would track down Rapunzel, however, and would try to manipulate her once again into coming back to the tower. Rapunzel refuses, which leads to Gothel handing the satchel to Rapunzel to prove that Eugene is only in it for the money and nothing more. But don't worry, this is all part of Gothel's big evil plan.
Lying, don't come crying.
Yo, you hear that? Sounds like a Disney villain singing a reprise. Cut to the next day and our group finally run into Maximus.
Well, I hope you're here to apologize.
After some quick negotiations, the whole gang finally set out and reached the kingdom. And here we're shown a quick montage of both Eugene and Rapunzel exploring and having fun, celebrating Rapunzel's birthday. By the way, this whole montage happens during an absolute banger of a song. Later on, the two grab a boat and await for the lanterns. And honestly, this whole lantern sequence is just sheer perfection done by Disney. It all starts off with this heartwarming conversation Eugene and Rapunzel have before the show, and the momentum still carries over to when we cut to the king and queen. Holy shit, I love this scene. It's only 30 seconds long, but the amount of emotion the whole thing brought just hits you like a train. What makes it even greater is how the scene plays out with none of them speaking a single word. You simply feel their pain through their facial expressions. It's honestly such a small, simple thing that really works, and I love them for it. Oh, but it gets better. After experiencing that heartbreak, we finally get to see the floating lantern set to the sky, which leads to one of the best Disney love songs ever made.
All those days watching from the windows.
Yep, I See the Light is without a doubt the best song in the entire movie, and honestly, probably the best love song of not only from the Disney princesses, but also of all time. And don't worry guys, before you go running to the comments, I also happen to really like Beauty and the Beast in a Whole New World, okay? I just happen to like this one a little bit more. I See the Light is made to sound elegant and mystifying, while the lyrics encapsulates a perfect self-reflection of our characters. But not only that, visually, this musical number is stunning. The lanterns floating by just creates this amazing aesthetic, all of which is heightened by the reflection of the water, adding the perfect blend of vocals, and overall, it's an amazing song all around. Also, I can confirm that this look Eugene gives to Rapunzel immediately set the bar 1 foot higher for us men out there in our generation. It's crazy. Back to the movie, Eugene would coincidentally notice the Stabbington brothers by the shore. Having a change of heart, he chooses to give the satchel back to the brothers. Turns out they know about Rapunzel's magic though and ambush Eugene, tricking Rapunzel into thinking he traded her for the crown.
Please. No. No. Ah!
Oh, my precious girl.
Wait, what? What the fuck just happened? Did you two really got knocked out by Grandma Hoodie here? You're supposed to be two of the most wanted criminals in the kingdom, but y'all got rocked by Gothel? Yeah, so turns out the Stabbington brothers got stabbed in the back by Gothel, and that this was all part of her grand plan to take back Rapunzel all along. Ha! Stabbington brothers. More like... Oh wait, Eugene would soon get arrested and would be sentenced to death for his crimes. We cut back to Gothel and Rapunzel back in the tower. And here the movie kinda starts to wrap it up for us now. They throw in this weird Disney magic hocus pocus into our face where Riri here magically pieces the clues together and remember that she's the lost princess.
Please speak up, Rapunzel. You know how I hate the mumbling.
I am the lost princess, aren't I? Did I mumble, Mother? Or should I even call you that?
Could have kept that to yourself and just waited for Gothel to leave so that you can run away again and find your way back to the kingdom, but you know what? You do you, Riri. Also, I think I have a problem, but did no one else think that was hot? Just me? Okay. Fine. Rapunzel finally finds the courage to fight back Gothel and vow to never let her use her hair ever again. Hell yeah, girl power! But this only leads to her getting muzzled and tied up. Hell yeah, girl power! Back in the kingdom, thanks to Maximus and the thugs from the bar earlier, Eugene manages to escape and is off to rescue Rapunzel. Worst security ever. Eugene manages to climb up the tower in the hopes of saving Rapunzel, but then... Oh, Jesus! Bro got stabbed so clean blood wasn't even on the knife. Impressive. In hopes of saving Eugene's life, Rapunzel would bargain with Gothel about cooperating if she let her heal him. Gothel agrees and we get this tragic scene.
I can't let you do this.
And I can't let you die.
But if you do this, then you will die.
Alright, Eugene, let's take a minute here and think of a well-thought-out plan, alright? Gothel is still just a normal lady with a knife. You're a very athletic man in his 20s who battled guards with swords. I think you'll be fine. Let's just make sure that we get Rapunzel to heal you first and see if we can slowly yet surely think of a way to outsmart the evil woman without sacrificing the hair. The hair of the long, beautiful blonde hair. What have you done? What have you done? Eugene! You dick! Yep, Eugene cleverly cuts Rapunzel's hair, which instantly speeds up the clock on Gothel. Why he didn't wait for Rapunzel to heal him first and then cut the hair, we'll never know. I guess the theory here is that when Rapunzel's magic disappears, so does all the magic affected by it, just like Gothel, which meant the stab wound would just come back, I guess? But like, he didn't know that. No one did. So yeah, that was pretty stupid of you, Eugene. Not gonna lie, with the magic gone, Gothel rapidly starts to age and almost falls down to— Jesus Christ, Pascal! What the fuck? No fucks given! Holy shit! Did the animal psychic just murder the villain? You're fucked up, man. Fucked up! Rapunzel will try to save Eugene, but with the hair no longer magic, she fails. But, of course, Disney throws in their Disney bullshit, and one sad teardrop from Rapunzel, Eugene would come back to life. One small detail I like here is how this scene is practically parallel to the sun's teardrop we see from the beginning of the movie, right down to the flowers sprouting. I don't know, it's this cool detail that no one really points out or admires, so yeah. The two kiss, and later we see Rapunzel finally meet up with her parents. Could have sworn our baby was blonde, but fuck it, this'll do. Thank you, wanted criminal Flynn Rider, for bringing this random woman into our lives. I trust you completely. Surely this isn't one big scam. Not a chance. Nah, but the family finally reunite. They share one big hug. The kingdom rejoices, and our heroes finally get to live happily ever after.
Asking. I finally said yes.
Hey guys, can we just not keep using the sky lanterns every celebration, please? You know those things fall back to Earth, right? It's really environmentally unhealthy. There's been like 18 forest fires in the past 3 months. Guys, hello? Is anyone even listening? Oh, fuck it, I'm going back to Arendelle. And that was Tangled. So do I still believe it's the best Disney princess movie? You bet your ass I do. Though the songs are lackluster, there's still a few numbers here and there that more than make up for it. The characters are great, the visuals are stunning, the story and pacing is well done, and the comedy is downright hilarious. It's a shame that Disney most likely will never make a sequel of this, but I heard the TV series is really good, so at least there's that. Overall, Tangled showcases everything great Disney has to offer, all while keeping it simple. Adding the great chemistry between our leads, great storytelling, and topped off with memorable characters, and it's easily one of Disney's best. This is easily one of my favorites, and that's why Tangled is a solid 9 out of 10. So yeah, that's why I think Tangled is the best Disney princess movie to date. Pretty interesting, huh? Sir, this is the Jollibee. We just asked what was your order. Ah. You know what Rapunzel's story is just as good as Tangled though? The Barbie version.
You're useless.
Give him to me.